My name is Russell Kendrick. I serve the people of the Diocese of the Central Gulf Coast as their bishop. But a really long time ago, I served you, the people of Nativity, as your curate, which is a fancy term describing the first placement for a newly minted deacon out of seminary. It was the custom at the time that the bishop would appoint deacons to where they were going to go, and there were two of us at the time, and there were two choices, Dothan and Mobile. I'd been to Mobile, but I'd never been to Dothan, and I don't know how Bishop Duval made his decision. Rob and I had never been to Dothan. She was 6 months pregnant with Hannah. We moved. And at the time, the only thing we really knew about Dothan was a person, and that person was Margaret Slingluff, which actually was a really good person to know. We were nervous and excited. And looking back, those 3 years with you were some of the best of our life as a family. I have so many memories of my 3 years at Nativity. So much of what I experienced in Dothan were firsts. My first baptism, first burial, first wedding. I was ordained a priest with you on Super Bowl Sunday. My daughter Hannah was born and baptized there. There was also the Easter parish party. Good Lord, y'all love to have a party. But beyond all these big milestones and celebrations and parties and worship services, my most important memories are about the people. David Powell was a wonderful mentor and friend. His wife Betsy is Hannah's godmother. To this day, I still hear David's quips and adages in my head, and they guide me. One of my dearest memories was my relationship with Mercedes Ball. I preach about her a lot. I have a few stories about other people too, but we won't go there today. Mercedes taught me more about being a priest than much of what I learned at seminary. The morning she died, I was on my way to the church. It was a Saturday. I just had a gut feeling, so I turned and went to her house, and when I walked in, the hospice nurse had just given her a bath. I walked into her room, and Mercedes, she looked like an angel. I said hi, and within a few minutes, she died. I was right there with her, and the nurse said, "I think she was waiting on you." I have so many more dear memories of people there that I carry, and I'm grateful. Speaking of people, I would be remiss not to mention our infamous EFM group that included some folks like Harry Hall, John Coleman, Taylor Flowers, and a few others. Just let that sink in. We met every week. I was the leader, but that was an oxymoron. I mean, all I had to do is say, "What do y'all want to talk about?" And we went. We laughed a lot, we learned a lot, and we dabbled in more than our fair share of heresy. After I was ordained, I celebrated my very first communion as a priest at the altar on a Wednesday morning service. To this day, I still remember looking into the chalice and seeing my reflection. My entire journey to that moment and from that moment is held at the altar of Nativity, within the walls of Nativity, but mostly within the people. Nativity loved me into who I am as a priest, and I'm so deeply grateful. I do have two specific symbols. I mean, I'm an architect, right? So I have to have symbols that formed me when I was there, and they've always stayed with me. And one is a small sign in the pulpit that says, "We wish to see Jesus." I was with you a month ago, and I noticed that it's still there. The pulpit at Nativity, I've preached at a lot of places, but the pulpit at Nativity is one of the most exciting places to preach. People actually listen and challenge you, and they truly want to see Jesus. And I have this memory that returns to me every time I'm back in Nativity, and it's basically this, that when I would finish preaching and turn from the pulpit to go back and sit down in the chancel, staring at me from across the choir was Sam Flowers, Agnes Simpson, Grace Hodges, and Margaret Slingluff. For me, it was like the Mount Rushmore of faith. And I would always get this kind of instantaneous review from them of my sermon. Some days it would be a smile or a nod. Occasionally, most often it was from Sam. I would get folded arms. And that was not a criticism as much as she was simply pondering what I said. As I look back to what remains the same at Nativity, that matters for me today, it's the window over the doors. It's the baby in the window. Arms reaching forth to anyone and everyone. That image truly captures my feelings about Nativity It captures the spirit of your church. You really do try to reach for all people. That's not an easy posture to keep in our world. That window also captures my understanding of God. We wish to see Jesus, and there He is, stretching to embrace or be embraced by all people. Bishop Duval used to call Nativity the Cathedral of the East. I now understand, I think, what he was getting at. Being a cathedral is not about the building. It's about the responsibility that you carry in the entire Wiregrass area. I mean, you are the mother church to several churches. And as the only Episcopal church in Dothan, you stand for a type of religion and Christianity that is unique and sometimes peculiar. We need you. God needs you. This world desperately needs that kind of Christianity and faith. And like a cathedral, you are meant to be a sanctuary for anyone and everyone. Anyone who crosses the threshold of those big, heavy wooden doors longing for the saving embrace of Jesus. I know it's not possible anymore, but when I was there, those heavy doors were never locked. We did morning prayer every day. There were several mornings that someone would be asleep on the pews. And there was this one morning that there was a $20 bill on the piano with a note, "Thanks for being here." So Nativity, as you celebrate this anniversary, thanks for being here. Thanks for being here for a baby priest who's now a bishop. I do carry you within me. Be sanctuary. Keep reaching. Keep reaching. Don't let your differences become divisions, and keep helping people see Jesus. The last question I was asked to answer is this: after all these years and from your vantage point as bishop, what one word would you use to describe Nativity's enduring spirit? One word is tough, and I would say this: Nativity is heaven, right here on earth, sanctuary. A place where the weary can find sanctuary, safety, belonging, and a place where we are also sanctified and changed into who God wants us to be. So Nativity, continue to be who God wants you to be, nothing more, nothing less. Thank you, and God bless you.